Okay, so the Twilight Zone, the new series from CBS All Access, the trailer for it dropped, I guess it was yesterday. I haven't had a lot of time, but I really want to look at it because the original Twilight Zone was one of my favorite shows, and I'm intrigued to see what this looks like. I even wore my black and white flannel. Okay, so it's an interesting mix of old and new, so that there's definitely some shout outs to the original series. Like I said, the gremlin from the William Shatner episode where he's in the airplane and he's terrified of flying and he sees the figure ripping the plane wing apart. That was washed up in the water, not really sure. But it did look like that at the beginning there, the one actor was on a plane and he was wearing the headphones on the plane. So perhaps that's a remake. Also, the fortune-telling machine from the other William Shatner episode. There were several other original ones in there, but then there were new, it looks like there's new segments as well, so they're going to mix the new and the old. The original Twilight Zone was the brainchild of Rod Serling, and Rod Serling was a brilliant writer. He actually lived, taught, and died not too far from where I'm sitting right now, and he's actually buried not too far from where I'm sitting right now, in a very small, humble grave in a very tiny cemetery in the town where he lived. A very unassuming man, but extremely talented. A lot of people don't realize that he wrote the screenplay for the movie The Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston, and the twist ending was, a signature of Twilight Zone episodes, and that wasn't the original ending in the book, so it had a Rod Serling feel to it. So for this to be successful, in my opinion, it has to be written well. Now, this Jordan Peele has done some good stuff and is a good choice here to host the anthology. They have tried to reboot this series several times, once in the 80s, once not in the too distant past here. It lives and dies with the writing. If it's written well, people will get behind it. And I think that was the problem with the most recent reboot of it or remounting of it, is that, even though it's an older property, it still can work. But if you don't put the time into the scripting and really come up with interesting premises and interesting stories focused on interesting characters, nobody will care. And that's what's most important here. They tend to fixate on, well, let's get a really cool twist ending, or let's get this. Well, you got to write it well first. So if they've done their homework and they've done that here, it could go off very well. It has a good feel to it. I like the music. You couldn't really get a full feel for any one of the episodes, but they don't want you to. It's an anthology series. They're trying to show you as much as they can with as little as possible, in a sense. So for me, for right now, I'll give it an edible to a yummy because I'm intrigued. I want to see what they do. I love the property, so I really want to see it be successful. But only if it's true to the original in the tight writing that Rod Serling offers.